First Alert 6 starts now.
Happy Monday, everybody. It is great to have you with us early on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
Hey, welcome back, by the way. I'm Cerise Cole, along with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. Rusty, yesterday was absolutely delicious weather-wise.
Delicious.
Yeah, it was so nice. Are we going to keep it going today?
Close, but not quite. How about that? So we got up to 50 yesterday with the sunshine. We're going to have more clouds as we see those build in during the day, but as you can see right here, quite a bit of sunshine as you look to the east, and we have some clouds that are starting to retreat to the east. So it's the blanket of clouds that has made the difference today. We have, if you have clouds, you got 30s. If you have clearing, you're falling off into the 20s with calm winds. And calm wind is going to be a story for much of the week, which is good news. I don't think the wind is going to be an issue much at all this first week of February. So that 27 degrees, still want the heavy coat, warm hat and gloves. You get everybody up and going to start off the day. Things look to be pretty quiet, pretty calm. And look out across the metro with mild, but we're going to see a few more clouds over the course of the day today build in, and then quite a few of those, it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday. The rest of the 10-day forecast shows a lot of promise, a lot of 40s, some 50s. Wouldn't be shocked to get a 60 in the first half of February either. I think there could be a day in there that really warms, just given how the pattern is setting up. So we have quite a few clouds. That's this layer of gray here that's just kind of slowly moving off towards the east, off to the west. Those are high clouds that are moving in. So we get one layer moving out, another one moving in. And where we have the thicker clouds, Council Bluffs at 32, Underwood 33, there you go. That's what's holding the number up a little bit. And it varies. You go to the west edge of the map, there's teens with the clearing. Fremont 18, 19 in Waterloo. So the clouds can act like a blanket overnight and keep all the heat from escaping into the atmosphere. That's what we've had here. And where the clouds have moved out, you get a lot of teens and some cold numbers. We've been watching for a little bit of fog development, haven't had anything widespread, which is good news. So out the door, you're going to have 20s and 30s for the most part. As high clouds move in, it'll kind of even out. And by noon, we're up near 40. You should have a lot of 40s over the course of the day, or course of the afternoon, I should say. 43 to 44 for the high. A little bit colder to the northeast. That's kind of the catch-22 with the thicker clouds in Iowa. They're not going to move out and allow you to warm up very much. So it's keeping you warmer in the morning, but likely colder in the afternoon. By 5 o'clock, we're into the lower 40s. Some high clouds still moving through, pretty quiet into the 9 to 10 o'clock range, and we get a pretty quiet night on the way. But 34 on Tuesday and 38 on Wednesday. So overall, those numbers about where we should be. Average high is 35 this time of year, and it looks like we'll be right near that or just a little bit above that over the course of the next several days.
All right, snow chances. I think it's what everybody's kind of focusing in on because we've been missing out on it. Yeah. Mostly in January, now the start of a new month. How's it looking so far?
Well, it got a couple of small ones the next couple of days, but nothing that's really going to add up to much, so don't worry too much about these. I think overnight tonight into early Tuesday could have a couple. And then late Tuesday into Wednesday, a few snow showers moving through, but you'll be lucky to get a couple tenths of an inch out of this. There's the round tonight into early tomorrow morning. Again, maybe a tenth or two, best odds probably on the Iowa side. Then could get a few more on the Nebraska side late Tuesday into early Wednesday. But that too doesn't add up to much. So again, a lot of small little snows don't add up to much. Haven't even got to 10 inches of total snow for the season. And there's a lot more warmth than snow in the forecast to start off the month. The colder shots of air you can see are going to travel across the East Coast through the weekend. We stay on the warm side of things. Look at the wide range. It is going to be bitterly cold on the East Coast this weekend. We stay on the warm side of this. The western half of the country should be incredibly mild Saturday, Sunday, and even into the early part of the week before perhaps around, that's middle of next week before we have any hint of a blast of winter trying to move in. So I do think there will be some pattern changes for the middle of February, but enjoy the first half. Thursday really sticks out as a mild day, and then early next week sticks out as well. So we could even see temperatures trend up a little bit for Saturday and Sunday, but overall looks like a very, very pleasant stretch of weather here over the next 10 days, with the coldest numbers being about where we should be this
Look
time
at all
of
those
year.
40s and 50s.
I know. There's going to be a lot of people out and about. I saw a lot of my neighbors yesterday. It was great.
Yeah, that's nice. Haven't
Hey,
seen
you
you in a
still live
while.
here.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's how it is when it's in the winter. All right, let's talk about traffic. Few accidents out there.
Yeah, nothing major right now. We'll see how it goes. We're going to pick up volume over the next hour pretty easily. So let's get a quick check of what we're looking at here over the course of the next couple of minutes. This is a look at L Street. Right around the JFK. Now off to the west here on 42nd, there's been a report of a crash. You see some pretty big slowdowns in the westbound lanes here, approaching 42nd and L. That intersection, northbound lane's pretty slow too. So watch for that. I don't have a camera that has a good view of it, but you can see traffic software picking up on some slowdowns there. There's also one 155th in Pacific. Of course, there's one 56th in Pacific, one of the bigger intersections around. And that little shopping plaza there with the restaurants. But overall, not huge issues where that crash has taken place. Bigger picture, again, it looks like that 42nd and L one causing the most problems. Otherwise, just your normal yellows, a couple of oranges with the typical volume slowdowns that we get this time of year, or this time of the morning, as things start to pick up a little bit. So that's what we're looking at all across the map. Pretty quiet thus far. We'll see how it changes as we go through the course of the morning. But as of right now, just a couple of ones on some of the, we'll call them side streets, but we'll see how it goes over the next hour.
Okay, Rusty, thank you very much.
You bet.
Back to news now happening today. The man responsible for a deadly hit and run a decade ago in Omaha is going to be sentenced. Sarah Ruth's family has been fighting for justice for a decade. The 21-year-old was hit in a crash by Eswin Mejia at 33rd and L. Now, investigators said he was driving drunk and street racing at the time. A relative of Mejia's posted bond, then he vanished. Last year, he was tracked down to his home country of Honduras and brought back to Omaha to face those charges. Sarah Ruth's mom will be in the courtroom for this final chapter. Here's what she told First Alert 6 back in December.
Everybody always says forgiveness is for you, not them. But I don't think about him anymore. I think about my daughter. And you can't bring my daughter back. So forgiving you isn't bringing Sarah back.
Mejia's attorney says his client, now 29, poses little risk to reoffend. First Alert 6 will be in that courtroom today. Expect updates on air and online at firstalert6.com and up on our First Alert 6 app throughout the day. We're expecting to hear from investigators this week after a Fremont High School student was hit by an SUV during an ICE protest.
But Fremont police know who the teenage driver is, and authorities say they are going through the video of the incident before deciding whether any charges will be necessary. In the meantime, Nebraska Representative Mike Flood is speaking out about the incident. He says he's relieved to hear the victim is expected to make a full recovery. Flood also praised the school district.
The Fremont Public Schools is a great school district. They have amazing school-to-work programs. They've got a career center that we should be celebrating. Listen, this thing was very unfortunate. You know, I've reached out and let school district officials know, is there any way I could be helpful?
Well, Flood added the incident should continue the conversation about how the U.S. will handle affairs involving ICE moving forward. Happening today, the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission will meet in Lincoln. At their meeting last month, the commission approved the creation of a standalone website. Now, previously, the commission site was integrated with the State Liquor Control Commission's website. Today's meeting starts at 1 o'clock.
Cerise, thank you. Now at the safety desk with Maria Cade. A new study suggests if you want to know how long you'll live, you may actually want to look at your family tree.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. There's a new study that was published in the journal Science, and researchers, they looked at more than a century's worth of data from studies involving twins. So that data found that genetics actually account for more than half of our lifespan and how long we live. The scientists say that the rest is influenced by external factors, so things like our lifestyle choices and social connections too. The study's lead author says that can affect a genetically influenced age by about 5 years. But it is important to note that this data from the study, they took it from other studies from people that were born before the 19th century. So some of the data could be a little bit muddled because you think about some of the factors that led to people dying earlier during that time, accidents, diseases, but it is some pretty interesting information.
Ever heard people say, well, my grandmother lived till 100? Some truth to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Marie Kate, thank you. We're back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. Taking a live look outside. Beautiful start to our day as the sun begins to rise here. And it is the first full week of February. We're starting this Monday off. We've been talking about how nice February is going to be, but the mornings are still going to be cold.
Yeah, you got to remember that. We had 50 yesterday. We got 40s on the way today. You're thinking, hey, it's going to be a pretty good one. It's still cold this morning. There's 20s out there. You want the heavy coat to start off the day. We have some sunshine. Take the warm hat, though, and you can see the layer of clouds off towards the east. 27 degrees right now. To the west, there's been some fog trying to form, but emphasis on try. Columbus has had the best chance or best odds of getting some of that. It's been bouncing around a mile or less, but Broken Bow has some. You can see not all that widespread, so you can head west and not worry about running into all that much fog. Satellite and radar shows where the clouds are the thickest off to the northeast. Those are the clouds I showed you on that view from the city cam there. Look at the wide range of numbers. It's 18 in Fremont, 19 in Wahoo, all the way into the low 30s on the Iowa side because of the clouds even parked underneath there. And you can see the range as well when you take a wider view. Some 30s on the east side of the map, teens on the west side of the map. All that kind of evens out today. We'll climb to 44 for the afternoon high, and then into the evening hours, it'll be a little bit on the chilly side. But just remember, you're getting everybody up and going this morning. They still want the heavy coat to start, and you'll get some filtered sunshine in 44 this afternoon. Not incredibly warm, but still pretty good by February standards. Some small chances of snow after about 1 a.m. tonight into the early morning hours of Tuesday. You can see a couple little snow showers trying to drift through our eastern counties. That could produce a light dusting in some spots. And then it is possible on the thicker clouds, we get a few more in our western counties late Tuesday and into Wednesday. But overall, that doesn't look like all that much of an issue either. So I showed this a little earlier. A couple tenths of an inch of snow tonight if you get any, and then a few more tenths possible Tuesday night into Wednesday. Not big snow makers, kind of like what we had over the weekend in some spots. Got a dusting in a few places, but not a big deal. Then 34 on Tuesday with the clouds around. Tuesday and Wednesday likely locked in with the clouds a little bit more. Then 56 on Thursday looks great. 43 on Friday. Some pretty nice weather by February standards, considering our average high should be in the mid-30s this time of year.
Ooh, yeah.
Lot to look forward to.
All right, we're just before starting February, but are we looking at a long-term snow outlook for the month?
Yeah, I tell you what, first half of the month's going to be pretty quiet. You have a lot of sitting around and waiting if you want snow. I do think there's some hope for snow lovers by the middle of the month. You're not going to see it here in the 10-day forecast, but these chances you see here by the middle of next week hold a little promise for some snow potential. I just show you model output from this week all the way into early and mid next week. There's the weekend, nothing happening, and right into the middle of next week. I tell you what, it's pretty quiet, but pattern trying to change up by the middle of the month, and that's something I'm going to be watching because look at where we're at here. We're looking at Valley, Epley, and Lincoln, three very reliable sources as far as snowfall data goes. Last season, we were begging for snow. Most of us had an inch or less at this point in the winter. We're above that pace. You can see a little over 8 in Valley, 6.5 in Omaha, 7 in Lincoln, but still well below what we typically have this time of year in the mid-teens. We average about 15 inches of snow by this point, and we haven't even had half that in several spots. So got a little bit of ground to make up. I still think February holds some promise, especially for the second half of the month. Going to need some moisture here at some point, and you know, March is still a thing. It can snow. It snowed into early May around here, so we're not done yet.
Seeing that before.
All right, Rusty, thanks.
You bet.
Back to news now. Omaha police need your help as they look into a shooting that put one man in the hospital. Officers responding to an alert from the city's gunshot detection system at a home near 40th and Boyd. Now, this is late Saturday. When police got to the scene, they found 20-year-old man had been shot. Medics took him to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the victim was inside the home when he heard gunshots coming from outside. If you know anything about this, give Omaha Crime Stoppers a call. You can stay anonymous. Happening very soon, early voting ballot applications will be mailed to voters for Nebraska primary election.
That's right. Voters must complete, then sign the application portion and return it to the Douglas County Election Commission office to receive a ballot by mail. Voters who do not receive an early voting application postcard may request a by mail ballot by submitting a request in writing. Well, still ahead this morning, find out which artists had standout nights at the Grammy Awards.
Plus some bad news for those tired of the winter season, at least according to Punxsutawney Phil. Will tell you his annual prediction when we come back. Well, the 60th Grammys featured big names taking home big awards.
Yeah, Bad Bunny warmed up for the Super Bowl halftime show by accepting 3 Grammys, including the top award of the night, Album of the Year. Kendrick Lamar won 5 awards, including Record of the Year. Billie Eilish gets Song of the Year for Wildfire, and Olivia Dean wins for Best New Artist. Big night.
It was a big night for a lot of great performances. Faves, Maria, any?
I loved Lady Gaga, of course. Abracadabra is like, she released the music video for that 1 year ago at the last Grammy, so it was really cool to see her perform that live. And I know we were just talking about Justin Bieber too. He did amazing as well.
Very impactful. Yeah.
But I'm so happy that Bad Bunny won. That was, I mean, that was my prediction. I wanted him to win. So very happy with the outcome of that. Because I know sometimes Album of the Year, it's like a pretty controversial award. A lot of people sometimes say, oh, maybe the wrong album won. But I think it was deserved for sure.
Yeah.
Had a big impact.
Olivia Dean, she's so cute too. It was great. It was so cute to see her.
I got to see her performance.
Well.
She was very cute. Yeah. And Kendrick Lamar beat out Jay-Z's record now for most awards by hip hop artists. So he had a very good night.
He's been the star.
I usually like watching, but I chose sleep last night.
I only watched like half of it.
Sleep is important.
Thank you.
And we have to give out a shout out to Steven Spielberg. He won an award for a music film, so now he is in the elite EGOT member.
Very impressive.
Wow.
Well, 6 more weeks of winter are on the way. That's according to Punxsutawney Phil. The groundhog has officially seen his shadow this morning.
Well, there's always a large crowd in Punxsutawney, PA, to celebrate Groundhog Day. The event happens every year at Gobbler's Knob since 1887. With the wind chills and the single digits and the snow on the ground, many visitors hoped for a slightly different outcome. Well, last year's Groundhog Day celebration brought more than 52,000 people to Gobbler's Knob. And Maria said she's been.
Yeah, I've been there one time. It was an amazing experience because you don't know how hype and how excited the people in the crowd are to see Phil. I mean, people go crazy for this guy.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Everybody's wearing hats with groundhogs on it, t-shirts, and it's normally freezing freezing. It was very cold the year that I was there, but they said that it was actually one of the milder years, and I was still like shivering, shaking the whole time.
I am amazed every year when I see all those crowds. 52,000, that's a lot of people.
People love it. They go crazy for it, and people come from out of state, out of the country even. I remember when I was there, I spoke to a couple people who were actually from Australia. They flew into Pittsburgh and then drove from Pittsburgh to Punxsutawney, which is about 2 hours, to experience it because they saw it online. They're like, I got to experience this American culture once, and they did it. They made the trip.
We have to ask Rusty what he thinks about Phil's prediction.
I'm all for drinking beer at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
They do. It's a party all night, the whole night.
The East Coast, I think that holds true. It's going to be cold, but for us, we get a lot more milder air than anything Phil was talking about.
Perfect.
That's more of an East Coast thing.
We had Unadilla Bill or whatever, right?
Yeah, right. Anyway, I haven't seen what he said.
I'm taking Rusty's prediction.
For sure. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in today's show. You can watch it here on streaming or over our air.
Have a great start to your Monday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Well, good Monday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update about a crash that Rusty Lord's been tracking for us.
Yeah, 42nd and L has had some issues, at least on the maps anyway. This is a look at L Street as it crosses the JFK, so the crash would likely be off in the distance, but not seeing any big slowdowns there. But you can see as you approach the intersection here, from if you're heading west or if you're heading north, some big time slowdowns around 42nd and L, the way things are looking. I also have had a crash reported a while back at 155th and Pacific, some slowdowns around that one, but not looking nearly as bad as the 42nd and L one. Also, crash on 680 near Pacific, northbound lanes reported here. But as you can see, a lot of green on the map there, so no big issues. Got your normal slowdowns, eastbound Dodge and eastbound Blair High Road as well. Let's get a look at the forecast. We got a lot of sunshine out there right now, but you look off to the east, it kind of looks like mountains on the horizon there. That's the cloud layer that's been retreating to the east, and temperatures have been able to warm up a little, or cool off a little bit now as that's happened, but they'll warm up a little easier with it out of the picture. So we've fallen off to 27 in Omaha, 23 in Millard. So cold air, 20s to start off, not much breeze. So the air temperature, the wind chill, they're pretty much the same number. And the first alert forecast will take us up to about 44 for the high today. We will see high clouds fill in over the course of the day, so we'll get more and more of those. And the wind gusts, not much of an issue out of the southeast, maybe up near 10 miles per hour today. So that's great news. We should be able to warm up. Wind won't play a huge factor on how the day plays out. Small chances of snow overnight tonight into early Tuesday. Same story Tuesday night. Neither one adds up to maybe more than a dusting in spots. Aaron?
Well, the man behind a deadly hit and run will be sentenced today. Investigators say Eswin Mejia was driving drunk and street racing near 33rd and L at the time, killing Sarah Root. First Alert 6 will be in the courtroom for the sentencing.
It is now 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.